Well, hello guys. Pam from Old Hippie Homesteaders. Oh, it's snowing. But I think it's calming down. I wanted to share with you some of the stocking up we did the other day. Now, many of you know that from September to December last year, we could have died. It was terrible, terrible way to end the year. September, we were evacuated. We had a horrendous, very, very bad fire up here, and we were evacuated for 2 weeks. And then it just got worse from there. Emergency surgeries. We got sick with the big C. We've never been sick from that before. It was just a terrible ending. We didn't even have Christmas. So now many of you know that in the fall, I harvest the garden, I can it, I freeze dry it. We really search for our meat deals, stuff like that. And we also harvest probably 50% of our animals that we have out here. I didn't get to do any of that. We did get the birds harvested, and then a couple days later we had to evacuate. But we didn't get hardly anything done. So like I said, we didn't get anything done. Now, you don't have to have a garden to stock your pantry. You don't have to have tons of acres to stock your pantry. You don't need a huge backyard to stock your pantry up. You can live in an apartment and still stock your pantry up. You can use, food that a neighbor grows. You can use the grocery store. You can use the food bank. There's many ways to stock up your pantry. I just don't want you to think because you don't have a huge garden or 100 acres that you can't do that, because it's not true. That's just not true. Now, stocking your pantry also doesn't mean buying a lot of freeze-dried food either. You can find very cheap dehydrators to do the same thing. You don't want to waste a lot of money buying those freeze-dried foods. Now, yes, we have some. We have probably, I would say 20 to 30 cans, no more than 30, but you don't let them set. You rotate your stock. You don't want to have a scenario where you have to depend on that store-bought freeze-dried food and you open it up and you cook it and you say, it tastes like crap. You don't have to do that. You rotate. So I use that store-bought freeze-dried food. I use it quite often. But since we bought our freeze dryer, I've stopped buying the store-bought freeze-dried food and I started making my own. And we use a lot of it. I'm very surprised how much we go through. So we stocked up. I got 50 pounds of flour, 25 pounds of black beans, 25 pounds of white beans, 25 or 50 pounds of raw sugar, 50 pounds of brown rice. Now, I did not want all of those big, huge bags sitting out in my pantry. First of all, it won't do anything about saving the life of it, increasing the life of it. And I have cats, 2 cats. They like scratching on the bags. So what we did, we put them in Mylar bags. I dated them, wrote what was on there, what else did I write on there? The date, what they were, I think that was it. Oh, and how many cups. I took them out by cups. So in each bag, there's approximately 10 to 12 cups of whatever that item is in the Mylar. And it just kind of gives you a better idea when you go to cook it and stuff like that, how much is in that bag. So we got that stocked up. My next thing I want to do is I want to get some more cornmeal, some more oil, things like that, because from September, when hubby and I were evacuated, our sons stayed here. They fed everybody that refused to evacuate. They fed them on my preps. My juices, our lamp oil, our soups, our stews, baby formula. They used it. So my prepper pantry went from being full to that. Then hubby had an emergency back surgery. He was down for quite a few weeks. I used my preps. I used my pantry, my canned goods. I used our freeze-dried stuff because I was so busy helping him and taking care of him. I didn't have time to do all kinds of cooking that I normally do. Then, after his surgery, he caught the big C while staying in the hospital. Brought it home and shared it with me. So once again, we were using what was in my pantry. Then I had to have my sinus surgery. And it was about 5 weeks ago. I'm still not up to par. Still not right. I still have a lot of swelling under here and all in here. But I'm better than what I was. And so while he was taking care of me, he was using the preps and the canned goods and the freeze-dried food. So our supplies are dwindling, I might say. So let me show you what we did and what we stocked up on. Now, it's not a lot, but it's getting me back up to what it was. Okay, so this is all the bags. If you can believe this, there's 50 pounds of flour in these bags. So these are flour. So I put what it was, how many cups are in it, and the date. So I've got flour, long grain brown rice, black beans, what's over here? More flour, white beans. So this, it cuts down this, first of all, it cuts down the space that those big 50-pound bags take up in a pantry. It cuts it down. Now in these bags, I have my oxygen absorbers, my O2 absorbers, because I have a 3-stage pantry. Part of my pantry is for use right now. The other part is for canning and such like that. And then the third part is for long-term preps. This is going to be in our long-term preps. Now, as I use the flour and beans and stuff that I have in the section of my pantry to use first, I will be moving this into the first section, which means I will start using this. But I will start using these only after I've depleted these certain items that are in my pantry. Now, I keep these in a very large black, it's not called Rubbermaid, that's not the brand name, but it's black, and we get them at Home Depot, and they're very large containers. That's where I'm going to keep these. You want to keep your Mylar in a cool, dark spot to keep it as fresh as you possibly can. So that's what we did. And Wednesday, this is Monday, Wednesday I'm going to be going out and restocking again.